Hi, everybody. I'm Julie from Sister Mediums, and I'm welcoming you to the month of December. Brand new month. Hard to believe that almost a year has already passed us. These 11 months have just flown right by, and I'm sure that some of you can agree with that, although I'm sure some of you can say they've been the longest months of your life. There's a lot going on this month and in this card reading, and I kind of just want to get right to it. So thanks for tuning in. Grab a cup of coffee or a glass of water or tea and, tune into what's going on. The cards that I pulled this month, I decided to only pull a few, and then the other ones we're going to kind of do on a live stream and pull them that way. I started meditating on what our viewers, our followers needed to hear this month, and I was pulling some interesting cards, and then something shifted along the way and it got really deep, and a lot of the cards had to do with healing, and I felt emotionally off, and so I stopped pulling them. So I'm going to share it with you regardless, and then we'll go from there. The first two cards that came up were cards of women. Actually, almost all of the cards that came up were cards of women. So that right there tells me that the divine feminine is on the rise of rebirth and trying to work through things. And right now it's a time of nurturing. Okay, that makes sense to the first card. Actually, the first two. This was the overthinking woman, okay, or the thinking woman. I look at her as overthinking because she's got a lot fluttering around her head. And if I think about what this card means to me, it's that we are always trying to find a solution to problems. Our minds kind of never stop. They're always on the go, trying to help people, trying to be there, trying to be at the forefront. And this is really about taking that time to just slow it right down. Okay. The overactive mind needs a break. It needs a rest, and we need to care for ourselves. Okay. This thinking woman is looking deep into research and trying to find an answer to things. Okay. What's interesting is that the card that came up after that was the contract card. So it made me think that maybe some of you are looking or thinking about business decisions, decisions regarding leases or contracts. Okay. And when the contract card comes up, it's really about taking a really deep look at the fine print. Okay. That balancing act may be the overthinking part or the thinking. Okay. The knowledge here, which would represent the books. The fact that she's blindfolded tells me that whoever is looking at a contract has missed the fine print. You feel blindsided, okay? Or you don't feel like you've had a fair shot when it comes to this particular contract, this agreement that you're in. It might even be a business decision or something that you're trying to get out of, okay? So take a look at the fine print of things. Don't rush into anything. Take the time to analyze it. And even if you have to hold off and sit back and think about it, and then go back to it, revisit it. Okay. But definitely balance out what's good and what's negative before renewing anything, if that makes sense, because that's what's coming forward. I always trust that who needs to hear the messages are going to hear them. And that was just a really strong download about somebody revisiting a contract and weighing out the pros and the cons to that specific agreement. Okay. The Angel of Strength also came up in this particular deck that I was using. It's an energy deck by Sandra Ann Taylor. And the Angel of Strength is really about drawing in on your own power. Okay. I look at this card two different ways. The lion to me represents loyalty and not wanting to break ties or not wanting to disappoint others. And so we're loyal to a fault. We want to help. We want to be there for people. It might even have to do with relationships and trying to get through it. But something in my gut is telling me that this is about strength and somebody combating or battling. Okay. And drawing in on that angel of strength and the lion's strength to get through what you need to get through. When I meditated on it and asked, what are we going through that specifically needs strength? The Healer of Ages was the card that came up next. And the Healer of Ages for me is really about looking at different modalities of healing and the way that we accept what's coming our way. So I thought about all the healers out there, all the light workers out there that help people when they need to draw that strength, when they're going through something, whether it's a medical issue, a health issue, and really seeking out different forms of healing. Also, all of you light workers at home who are thinking about or feeling called to taking meditation classes, sound healing classes, Reiki classes, and getting that certification so that you can become that healer of the ages. This is the card to say, trust your gut. Okay, you're getting that call for a reason. A lot of times you can look back and say, I've felt a nudge for such a long time to go in and to help people. And this is really about honing in on those energies around you so that you can be that healer that you innately feel or intuitively feel called to be, to step up to be. Okay, so take a shot. I always say, if I didn't start with my Reiki 13 years ago, I wouldn't be where I am today. My sister wouldn't be where she is today, but it truly all started with self-healing. When I took my first Reiki certification 13 years ago, I'd broken my ankle in 3 different places. And the truth of it is that I learned the Reiki for myself. And it wasn't until I started doing that where I realized, okay, we can go somewhere with this and help people. And then it just became a trickle effect from there. And so if you're feeling that call, don't ignore it. You never know where it can take you. Okay. I want to talk quickly about romance. The angel of love popped up and she came in with a broken heart. Okay. So this is the angel of love card. Obviously holding her heart, analyzing it, a lot of love and light around her, compassion, empathy. If you're that person who's literally given it all and still feels like you're coming out with a broken heart, again, 2 different ways of looking at things. You might not want to give up. You want to always trust that that angel of love is coming to you and saying, don't give up on love. Be that romantic. Things are going to get better, but only you know what you can handle and when the relationship feels like it's lost itself. I couldn't help but think of all the conversations in the last, the last week that I've had with clients about being in situations where they're no longer happy, okay? Or sticking together for the sake of and putting themselves last and how they truly and really feel. And so if you're that hopeless romantic, you've got to work at it. There's got to be effort made on both ends in order to heal that broken heart. If you feel betrayed and you're watching this video, you need to honor your feelings. And sometimes forgiveness is there. And maybe this is where the angel of love comes in. She's holding her heart, but her head is down. She doesn't look the happiest to me, but that's just my interpretation, wanting things to get better. Again, all of the flowers coming in at the top of the head, that's, growth there. And so maybe she's holding on to her heart, feeling like that relationship is going to grow again. But if you're putting in all the effort and you're constantly waiting and waiting and waiting for things to happen, this might be your sign that you're going to walk away brokenhearted anyways. Okay. Again, you can only take so much. You know how much you can handle before you start to feel damaged. And no one should really be in a relationship where they feel that damaged, that they either can't recover from it with their partner or that they can't walk away from it, if that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, this one hurt. I felt really emotional. And to be honest with you, this is when I stopped talking out loud with my meditation and sitting with my cards and saying, okay, let me just pull what comes. And so I pulled a few different decks that I want to work with. The first one is the Gateway. This deck is by Denise Lynn. Okay, it's a beautiful deck. It really answers your questions when you're looking for that special guidance. So whoever's got that question in their head now and needs that focus, this is what I'm pulling for you specifically. Okay, somebody needs to hear this. Interesting. We just finished talking about the angel of love and broken heart, and the card that got pulled was open your heart to love. My heart is open, but I feel like what this card means is your heart is open to someone new. Your heart is open to receiving. You are worthy of finding someone who can love and who can appreciate you for what you are. And if you see here, the card before it, the heart was cracked in half. It needed mending. This heart's on fire. Okay. So this one's saying, look, there's a brand new journey here. Water for me is all about cleansing. It's about embarking on a new journey or embarking on a new relationship. And that heart on fire represents passion. Okay. So open yourself up to second chances, third chances even, because it's coming for you. Okay. I really like using this deck, so let's grab another one from here and see what happens. or what the message is for whoever's watching. Okay. Renewing your life and decluttering. This is perfect for the end of the year. Okay. It's time to get rid of shit. Just clean it up. All the things in your life that no longer serve you, whether it's in your house and you walking around with a garbage bag and saying, I don't need that and I don't need this and this is old and this is broken, let it be. But if it's people in your life, cut that too. Okay. This is, I think, a year where, based on what we've talked about in conversations, this is a year where we've had to declutter from people who are negative, people who weigh us down, people who constantly push the envelope and push the boundaries. And this card is really about decluttering. The message on it here says, radiant vitality is filling my life. Okay. So whatever no longer serves you, you need to cut those cords. And I know it's easier said than done with some people. I do understand that, but I truly feel that in order for you to move forward, you need to make room for that. And in order to make room for stuff, you need to get rid of the things that no longer serve you. Okay. This next deck, this is one of my favorites. It's actually the oldest deck. I've had this deck for about 15, 16 years, well before we started mediumship or anything. It's Doreen Virtue's original. It's the Ascended Masters. I use this in almost every reading that I do, whether it's my card readings online or whether it's in person with my clients. And I just find it to be a very truthful deck, but also a deck that resonates with a lot of the problems and issues that people are going through on a day-to-day. Okay, this one is speaking to me. Okay, guys, this is not a coincidence. Open your heart to love. Opening to love. Okay, so whoever's not getting the message, whoever isn't listening right now and doesn't think they're worthy or is closed off because they think they've been hurt before, you need to open yourself up. I'm happy that this card is the one that was pulled that can coincide with this, because I want to explain what it means. This is Jesus coming forward, okay? So I always look at the lamb as being like, you've been the one who's sacrificed so much in relationships, but I also look at the lamb that he's holding, the baby one, as a symbol of new life and new birth. I always think about Easter time, okay? So there's the new life and the new birth happening within a relationship. Your protective guard is up. That's the bear within you, okay? And we feel defensive at times. So I can understand this, but again, open up your heart to even wanting to try, even if you feel on the defense about the reasons why you shouldn't, okay? The lion, there's a fierceness within you, but again, it's that loyalty. And the interesting thing here is at the bottom, you can't see the wolf, but the wolf always to me represents a new moon, a new cycle, something new coming into your life. And again, it can only come in if your heart is open. So trust that when we pull 3 cards in one reading that all have the same message, it's really a call to somebody to just open themselves up and trust again. Okay. I've said this many times, especially to clients who've lost their husbands. You know, the worst thing has happened to you where you don't have your life partner anymore. But if you just open yourself back up again, the best things can come your way. You're not here to replace anybody. You're here to start new relationships, okay? And with that, it's a little bit of vulnerability, but I feel like the payoff's going to be good, because instead of that broken heart, it's going to be a mended heart on fire, and one that has a lot of passion. So why not give it a shot? Okay, we're going to go with another one from here. Detach yourself from drama. Guys, these are overlapping for a reason. Renewing your life and decluttering, detaching yourself from drama. Again, it's a symbol of walking away from the things that no longer serve you, okay? She's got this beautiful sword in her hand. This is Athena. She's trying to cut and detach from the things that no longer serve her and the negativity. And maybe it's because we're at the end of a year and the cards coming up are trying to say this is a perfect chance for renewal and to start things brand new with a fresh slate. But anybody who is no longer giving you that sense or that feeling of love and security and honesty, you got to step back. I know this is hard for some people, and I kind of like to word it this way. when you have a hard time telling somebody that you've got to cut them off, and I don't even know if people actually say that, like, I've got to cut you off, but when you have a hard time putting up boundaries or setting those restrictions, sometimes the best thing to say is, I'm working on me. And for me to work on myself means I have to walk away from certain relationships or certain energies in my life. The primary focus is myself right now. And you should have no problem saying that. Boundaries are a hard thing. I know my sister and I have been working on that a lot this year, in trying to step back when we feel depleted, or trying to say, hey, I've got this sort of a schedule. I don't have room to fit anybody else in. And I know that that's hard, but again, you're stepping back, you're doing what you're feeling called to do. This is no different. When people in your life are stepping on you, when they're infringing on your time, when they're not hearing what you have to say, and when you walk into a room and the vibration is different all of a sudden, that's when you know, I can't be a part of this circle. I can't be a part of this drama. It's not good for my mental health. It's not good for my spiritual well-being. And so I have to walk away. Okay, so take that cord and cut it. Very interesting today. I want to go to Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael always makes everyone feel good, okay? Last month that I was with you, I'm going to hold on to that one, okay? Last month that I was with you, I pulled the Archangel Michael card, and the message in there was about children and that your children are being watched over. I got a lot of messages about that parents really needed to hear that. And so let's see what the prayers are for this month. I will acknowledge the card that fell out. It was let go of fear now. And that might just have to do with, again, the last two cards that were pulled, because the sword overlaps itself. And when we let go of the fear, we're open to new possibilities. So there we go with the opening of the heart again. Okay. And this one is going to be decide to be happy now. So clearly a flow to what's going on in the readings is putting yourself first, not necessarily putting everybody else on the bandwagon, or on the back burner, but allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to be happy. And if you think about that, it's a little bit messed up to have to say that I have to give myself permission to be happy. You should just want to be happy all the time. And even if it's hard and you're stuck in that rut, or you're going through nervousness and anxiety and you're just not feeling it, we can always choose to look at the bright side, the silver lining of things, okay? So this card says, thank you for helping me open my heart to happiness, to joy, and to bliss. I am now willing to see all of the goodness in my life. And I look at this from a place of love, in that we all have hardships. We all get news sometimes that really just scares us and sometimes puts us into hermit mode. And we all go to those dark places, but we should all also be able to be happy and find the silver lining. I say this daily at home to my kids, people around me. There is always someone struggling with something heavy, and sometimes heavier than what we're going through. And so I guess that's the compassionate side of it, is we can choose to, be stuck in that, or we can choose to change the course of that and be happy altogether. I really like that prayer. I want to end with the spirit animal card, if that makes sense. Okay. Oh my God, we're 18 minutes. Already I'm babbling a little bit this month. But I love using spirit decks. Animal totems I feel very drawn to, and I really do trust that if an animal has crossed your path or coming to you for a certain reason, there's always a reason why. It's not by coincidence, okay? So let's go right here and let's see what spirit animal. Ooh, the rabbit spirit. I love this because rabbits really symbolize luck, but they also symbolize regeneration and renewal. Okay, so I want to end this with wishing you all luck for 2022, that it's the best year yet. The next time I see you will be in February, because Daniela will do January. And, I always say this: when an animal crosses your path and you're trying to figure out what it means, Google it. Okay, literally Google rabbit animal totem, and it will give you a deeper meaning as to what it is. Sometimes when we see rabbits, we get scared. there's like this fearfulness in them because of the way that they stare at you if you see them on the street or like in someone's grass and they get startled. So something might be coming to you that's startling. But I also look at, if you look really closely at it, there's like little baby rabbits here. So I also look at this as a time for blessings and new beginnings. And to me, when I think of luck, I also think of jade. And whether it's green jade or white jade, it represents new beginnings, luck, prosperity, and continued blessings. So this couldn't be a more perfect card to end this reading with. For the month of December, I wish you all love, happiness, strength, prosperity, blessings, and overall just a feeling of self-worth and love and accomplishment and sharing who you are with the world. I love and appreciate you all very much. We are going to continue doing readings moving forward for 2022. We recognize that it's something that our community is calling for and needing and asking for. And so my sister and I are happy to continue this for you. If it resonated with you, comment below. Let us know what you're looking for. And stay safe, everybody. Merry Christmas. Love to you all.